The world held its breath as all eyes remained fixed on the chimney of the Sistine Chapel. Then suddenly, white smoke rose into the sky, a sign that a new pope had been chosen. Down in St. Peter's Square, the excitement was electric. Thousands of people stood together waiting to see who would emerge on the balcony and lead the Catholic Church into the future. Then, the moment arrived. The announcement was made. Cardinal Luis Antonio Tagle from the Philippines was now Pope Francis II. A wave of emotion swept through the crowd. For the first time in centuries, the Church had chosen an Asian leader. This was a historic moment, not just for Catholics, but for the entire world. It was a sign that the Church was embracing its global reach and recognizing the growing influence of Asia in the faith. Pope Francis II, known for his warm personality and deep humility, stood before the crowd with a gentle smile. His reputation as a down-to-earth leader, a man of deep faith and a strong advocate for the poor, had already made him a beloved figure. His election wasn't just another chapter in the Church's long history. It was a fresh beginning filled with hope and renewal. As he stepped onto the balcony, a sea of faces looked up at him in anticipation. Flags from every country fluttered in the wind as the crowd chanted his name. The energy in the square was electric. Strangers hugged, tears of joy were shed, and the Catholic spirit of unity shone brightly. This wasn't just a religious event. It was a global celebration of faith, togetherness, and the promise of a new era. Pope Francis II's election was a turning point. It symbolized a blending of cultures and traditions, proving that the Catholic Church was truly universal. Bells rang from St. Peter's Basilica, their joyous chimes echoing through the ancient streets of Rome. The world tuned in to witness history being made, hanging on to every word as the new pope prepared to speak. With a calm yet powerful voice, Pope Francis II addressed the faithful. "My brothers and sisters," he began, "let us walk this path together with faith, hope, and love." His words echoed those of Pope Francis before him, emphasizing compassion, humility, and a commitment to justice. He spoke about the challenges the world faces: poverty, inequality, and environmental destruction, and called for a renewed focus on fairness and human dignity. His message was clear. The Church must stand for the voiceless, protect the vulnerable, and work toward peace and unity. "We must build bridges, not walls," he declared, urging people of all backgrounds to come together in understanding and solidarity. His vision for the future was one of inclusion, kindness, and action. Pope Francis II's journey to this moment had been one of dedication and service. Born and raised in the Philippines, he had witnessed firsthand the struggles of the poor. His experiences shaped him into a leader who deeply understood the pain and hopes of ordinary people. As Archbishop of Manila, he was known for his humility, riding public transportation, engaging with everyday people, and speaking out for justice. His commitment to the less fortunate never wavered. Whether addressing global leaders or comforting a struggling family, he remained steadfast in his mission to uplift others. Now, as Pope, his influence would reach even further, guiding billions of Catholics worldwide. His election also signaled a shift in the Catholic Church. No longer confined to its traditional power centers, the Church was embracing its diverse membership and acknowledging the importance of different cultures in shaping its future. Catholics in Asia, Africa, and Latin America felt seen and represented in a way they never had before. But Pope Francis II was not just speaking to Catholics. His message resonated with people of all faiths, and even those who did not follow a religion. He spoke of shared humanity, of the need for mutual respect and cooperation. He emphasized that despite our differences, we are all part of the same global family, and we must work together to make the world a better place. His first speech as Pope set the tone for his leadership. He spoke of hope, of welcoming everyone with open arms, and of standing strong in the face of challenges. "The Church is not a fortress," he said. "It is a home for all, a place of healing and love." His words struck a chord with many, especially those who had felt disconnected from the Church He offered a message of inclusion, urging the faithful to reach out to those who had been pushed away. His vision was one of a church that embraced dialogue, listened with an open heart, and sought to bring people together rather than divide them. Pope Francis II did not shy away from the pressing issues of the modern world. He spoke passionately about climate change, urging humanity to take responsibility for the planet. He called for action against poverty and inequality, challenging world leaders to prioritize the needs of the most vulnerable. He pushed for an end to violence and war, advocating for peace through understanding and compassion. His words were not just empty rhetoric. They carried a powerful call to action, urging people everywhere to be part of the change. He reminded the world that faith is not just about prayer. It is about living with purpose, standing up for what is right, and helping those in need. For young Catholics, Pope Francis II was a breath of fresh air. His down-to-earth approach, his emphasis on social justice, and his call for a more engaged and compassionate church inspired many. He was a pope who understood their concerns, who spoke their language, and who made them feel like they belonged. His leadership promised to be transformative. The Catholic Church, under his guidance, was stepping into a new era, one of openness, inclusivity, and action. He was not here to maintain the status quo. He was here to lead with courage, to challenge outdated norms, and to make faith relevant in today's world. As the sun set over St. Peter's Square that evening, the excitement did not fade. Instead, it grew stronger. People everywhere, from the bustling streets of Manila to the quiet countryside of Europe, felt a renewed sense of hope. This was more than just a change in leadership. It was a new beginning. Pope Francis II had already captured the hearts of millions, not with grand displays of power, but with his sincerity, his warmth, and his unwavering commitment to justice and peace. His message was not just for Catholics, it was for all of humanity. And so, as the world looked on, one thing was clear. This was a moment that would be remembered for generations. A new pope had risen, and with him, a new vision for the future of the Church. A future filled with hope, unity, and the promise of a better world for all.